This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood. And before we get into things today, we want to welcome Max and Jordan and Jeff Reinholtz to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We also want to acknowledge Michael Allen, who increased his pledge over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves podcast. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. It really means everything to us. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 3 and 4 of The Shadow Rising.
Yes.
So we're back to double chapter episodes.
Yeah, we are. So chapter 3, we have Reflection, and chapter 4 is Strings.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of funny stuff happens in these chapters.
You know, it's entertaining.
It's like good conversation.
For a parent chapter.
Well, and we learn stuff.
Yeah.
That we didn't know before, but now we know.
But now we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got some predictions that you may or may not have been
completely wrong
or sort of wrong. Well, we'll see.
A couple are just completely wrong.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a really good fun fact, because this fun fact is about the most important people involved in this podcast, which is the listeners.
Okay.
And it's interactive, so everybody get ready. It's going to be good. And honestly, without them, we wouldn't be doing this.
That's true.
So, this is the fun guessing game. Now, if you've listened to every episode that we've put out available to the public, from our introduction episode to the end of The Dragon Reborn, then I want you to guess how many hours of content you have listened to.
Okay.
Yeah, and I need you to guess too, because everyone has a minute to shout something out to themselves wherever you are on how many hours of content you think from the very beginning to the end of The Dragon Reborn you've listened to of us talking.
Okay, can I logic it out?
You can try and logic it out, yeah.
Okay, so I know near the end of The Dragon Reborn, we hit 106. That was our milestone where we forgot to celebrate 100 episodes.
It was around there.
So probably about 110-ish episodes. I'm not quite sure exactly what episode we realized that in.
Okay.
So
this is pretty good logic so far.
Yeah. So I would say on average, it's probably about an hour and 10 minutes a podcast.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go with... Oh, she wants to chime in. I'm going to go with 130 hours.
That is horrifyingly close.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that you got so close. I didn't think you would figure that out.
You said that about the last guessing game too.
Well, that was a lot of logic all in one go. So
okay.
So the actual number is 126 hours, 24 minutes, and 35 seconds of content.
Shoot, Price is Right rules, and I lost.
You did, but you were really close, so within a couple percentage points. So that's very impressive. Yeah, but I was just thinking that's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into these chapters.
Yeah, chapter 3, Reflection.
Right. Okay, so last time we had Matt, Rand, and Perrin just experiencing separate, strange, murdery events.
Yeah, strange murdery is a good descriptor.
Yeah. So they almost died, and Perrin thinks that this is all Rand's fault and is marching off to confront him with Fail.
Yeah.
And Matt is also thinking it's Rand's fault and is also running off somewhere, but we aren't sure where at this point.
Yes, and it didn't seem specifically like he was going to Rand, so...
Right, and then Rand just had the worst of it, I think.
Yeah.
And sent Barrelane away, telling her not to tell anyone, and then she promptly tells someone.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. So we have the Dragon Fang picture.
We do.
Which is the male channeling Sidene picture.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, I need a better name
and
for
it's,
this.
Well, Sidene, Dragon's Fang, that's what it is. And there definitely is Rand in this chapter.
Yeah.
And maybe some evil stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know about evil stuff, but I definitely know about some sketchy stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it too.
It's super sketchy.
Yeah.
So, we enter in Perrin's perspective, marching through the halls of the Stone of Tyr with Fail, And he is still super self-conscious about his golden, glowing eyes. But what else is new?
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like he has told Fail about that whole situation.
Not really.
Yeah.
At first, it sounded like he had sort of told her, and she knows about him, and that was going to be my question for you.
Yeah.
Was, does she know? And then we get a little bit of a, nope.
Nope,
She
just,
doesn't
it's
know
like
anything.
something to do with Aes Sedai, but that's it.
Yeah. Not true.
Yeah, so not yet. Okay.
Yeah. So Perrin also notes that there are a lot of people out in the halls right now and like not in bed.
Yeah, it's the middle of the night.
Yeah,
so.
Fael's like, it's probably nothing.
Yeah.
And then we just move on.
Well, you don't want servants to get in the way during the daytime, so they do their cleaning at nighttime.
Nope.
Makes sense to me.
This is sketchy.
Have you never lived in a castle with
Number
servants
one.
doing the chores at nighttime?
Nope.
Okay, so you think something's up with this?
Yes. Oh yeah. Of course.
Okay, all right.
There's something up with everything. If it's noted as sketchy, it's sketchy.
Okay, all right, we'll go with it.
All right, and can you tell me what a murder hole is?
Yeah, it's a hole that you murder people through.
There are murder holes in the ceiling.
Yeah, so you drop stuff down or shoot arrows down on the level below. So, like, if you are trying to work your way up the tower or up the stone,
yeah,
you can kill people down below.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To, like, prevent intruders from getting higher up into higher up levels.
So they're literally just
Holes to murder people.
Murder holes.
Yeah, murder hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So something weird is going on here because we get another weird, sketchy thing happen.
Yeah.
With a High Lord and his two guards sort of hovering near Rand's room.
Yeah, it's High Lord Torian. Yeah.
And they all have swords, which is also weird because normally only the defenders are allowed to have swords in the stone.
Yeah, so something weird is going on, but it doesn't seem like it's the weird thing that happened to Rand.
That's true.
Yeah.
This seems separate.
It does seem separate.
Or
we can kind of like...
it's all linked.
Ooh, okay. That's the sketchy you were talking about.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's all linked.
It's all linked. And they smell of... We get a lot of smells from Perrin this chapter.
Yeah, I was going to say. So Perrin can smell fear on these guys.
Yeah.
And I like this power he has.
To smell the feelings.
Super feeling smells.
I can't see any way this could go bad.
Well, I like it. I think it's a cool power.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so Perrin is like, oh, hey, guys. Nice of you to be here. And, like, not be resentful of Rand and everything.
Well, it's funny, because that's, like, the exact conversation that Matt was having with the sons of the High Lords.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe this is the daddy of one of those kids?
Perhaps,
like, we don't know.
Yeah, perhaps. So, this guy answers a little too quickly and a little too weirdly for me, and it all just seems bad.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's overly polite.
Yes.
Which is like the direct...
Because they all know who Perrin is.
Yeah.
And they're clearly all very resentful of Rand.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So...
Yeah.
He's just, like, coming and taking over their city.
No. It's just those guys in the forest who are trying to overthrow Rand.
Yeah, no, the countryside.
The countryside, right. That's what it is, yeah. They're just, like, out there.
Right. But then this High Lord just scurries away.
Yeah. Well, scurries a little bit away.
Right.
Not too far.
Yeah. And then turns out Perrin is the jealous type. Because this man looked at Fael.
He was looking her up and down.
Like he wants to dandle her.
Yeah.
On his knee.
It's like the worst phrasing. I hate it so much.
I know, it's so bad. And it's not the first time we've heard it, and I'm sure it's not the last.
Yeah, I think there was like a old-timey way to say that, you know.
Maybe. And not the way your father would or something. And
that makes it way worse. Oh my god. Okay.
So I have a note here that says, get it together, Perrin.
It's... Well, it's funny because like the entire Perrin-Fael interaction in these
bad.
It's so good. It's like the best. I love the misunderstandings both ways.
I hate it so.
Nobody understands what's going on.
I can't stand these like miscommunications. And
I just relate to it so strongly.
Classic women don't communicate well tropes. I just hate it.
I wouldn't say that as a women don't communicate. It's Perrin being a knucklehead.
Yeah, but then she's always like, "Oh, if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you."
Okay, but that happens in real life though.
No,
That's not a
joke. Okay. Well, anyway, so then this is where we get Barrelane bustling past them, like, super fast and smelling like fear.
And let's just keep in mind, this gives us the exact timeline of when this is.
Right. And when I saw this happening, I went, oh, my prediction's going to be exactly right. This is where Perrin and Barrelane meet.
Oh, yeah. Well, they do.
Because you were like, oh, they're going to cross paths and they'll interact. No. Perrin bows to her. Fael barely nods her head.
Yeah.
And then Barrelane, doesn't even acknowledge them.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
all the stuff that happens.
Turns out now Fael is also jealous. And I just say, like, oh, good, guys. This is super healthy.
But that's the whole thing I was going to point out here is about the whole, like, Perrin smelling emotions here. Why it is going to backfire.
Oh,
because he smells a really, really strong fear scent coming from Barrelane. Yeah. So when she goes by him really fast, keep in mind what she's wearing is basically a see-through white robe, and Perrin turns and watches her go, and then Fael's like, "Oh, are you getting a good look at her?" And he's like, "Oh, but she smelled like ... Yeah. And then cue the misunderstandings.
Okay.
It's so funny.
It's good.
So it immediately backfires on Perrin.
Yeah, but he was just so jealous of the High Lord looking at Fael. Yeah. And now Fael is so jealous of Perrin looking at Barrelane. I'm just like, you guys, you gotta get it together. Yeah. This is so bad.
So, like, are they gonna get it together?
Not likely.
Not immediately?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. So then we get this strange interaction between Barrelane and the High Lord Torian?
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely weird.
Yeah, because he didn't go very far.
And he was already being weird.
Yeah, and then he, like, grabs her arm as she runs by.
Yeah, she didn't take too kindly to that.
No, and then they get in some heated argument that Perrin can barely hear.
And keep in mind that Perrin's still staring at Fael while Fael's looking at Perrin.
Yeah. Well, because I write here that Fael gets pissed about literally nothing.
Oh, yeah.
But,
it's because he's still looking at Barrelane, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but even she has to admit that this is weird.
Well,
it has nothing to do with, like, why is the first of Mayen, number one, just, like, running around, and then this...
That's a good question, I don't know.
And then this High Lord is just, like, yelling at her, basically. Like, if she even looked at what
So they're both being jelly monsters, is what you're saying.
It's very unhealthy.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is where I say that she does her classic women trope about, like, not actually communicating effectively and confusing men, which she successfully does.
I mean, she confuses Perrin.
Yeah.
I think she's being pretty explicit in what she's saying.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, Barrelane's going after the sun, which is, like, the Dragon Reborn.
I guess so. But still.
It's not good.
Perrin's like, what?
Perrin's a knucklehead. He's not the...
And I like how he's just like, can you just speak English?
What are you talking about?
Can you just tell me what you're actually feeling here?
And then she pulls the whole, I'm just going to go to bed.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
But then she, like, switches gears. Like, she's a little unhinged here, it seems. Because this is immediately after
this crazy
really
fight.
High, emotionally charged event.
My axe came to life and tried to murder us both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. And then you, like, slap me. And then now we're going off to talk to the Dragon Reborn, who's my childhood friend who also tried to kill us.
Yeah.
But now we're jealous because we're looking at the opposite sex.
Yeah, or they're looking at us.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I totally understand it. Okay.
Anyway, so then she laughs about his innocence and kisses him and then runs off to bed.
Yeah.
And I just went, ugh.
Problem solved. Yeah.
And then I said, don't you know, women are from Venus. You know, classic.
Classic, yeah. It's so bad.
It's really stupid. Okay, so Perrin heads into Rand's room area. Like, he's got an entire
this is important history, though, for Tyr.
Okay, can you explain it? Because I just glazed over it.
Tyr used to have a king, and then Archer Hawkwing conquered the world, and then after Archer Hawkwing died, Tyr never had kings again. Now they have High Lords, and no High Lord has been powerful enough to claim the old king's chambers, basically, what's happening.
Oh, and that's where Rand is.
And then Rand came in, and he either got pushed into it, or took it, or whatever. That's what Perrin's thinking, but...
Perrin's thinking that Moiraine probably pushed him into taking it.
So Rand's in the king's chamber, meaning Rand's the king of Tyr.
Yeah.
And all the High Lords are probably not super happy about that.
No.
We've heard that before.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's what's happening here.
Yeah, because it's all guarded by defenders. Like 50 defenders are all around this chamber, but then the real guards are the 6 maiden of the spears?
Yeah, maidens of the spear.
Maidens of the spear?
Yeah, the maidens is the plural. I mean, they have spears too, so like...
Maidens
of the spears.
There are lots of spears.
There's six maidens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bane and Chiad are among these maidens.
Yes.
That are guarding Rand's room. And they put their spears to Perrin, but he ignores them and says he's going in anyway. And then they laugh and ask him to play Maiden's Kiss.
Yeah, because he literally picks up Bane by the arms.
Yeah.
And then moves her out of his way physically.
Yeah.
So it's really, again, it's a hilarious sequence.
Yeah.
Especially because we know what Maiden's Kiss is now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
And that definitely makes me think that what Matt did not go farther than kissing.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
they were 100% just messing with him.
That's so funny. I mean,
For sure.
We don't know.
And they're
All
like,
right.
oh, you look like you'd be good at it, Parrot, and we could teach you a thing or two or whatever.
I wonder how Fael would, feel about that.
Definitely bad.
Or even just like Perrin picking up Bane.
Yeah. Oh my god, don't dare touch another woman, even her arms.
Good thing she went to bed.
Good thing.
Yeah.
So Tom was right, turns out. We got that little snippet of Tom giving some advice.
Yeah.
He was right. A man could go crazy trying to understand women.
Ha, classic.
Okay. So Perrin goes into Rand's room to finally stop this whole women are confusing sequence because I'm over it.
And go into the Rand is confusing sequence.
I like that much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Perrin is always confused about everything sequence.
Okay, so Rand is incredibly sliced up. I was trying to find a word to describe him. I have like beaten up.
He's bleeding out is the appropriate term.
He looks terrible. He's slumped over, holding Kalendor. So then Perrin is like, oh shit, this is bad. And then yells out to the maidens, go get Maureen.
Yeah, and again, this gives us the time stamp of when this happened. And it's been minutes since we left Rand in that last chapter.
Well, yeah, because we saw Barrelane hustling out and...
Yeah,
Yeah.
So he's bleeding out. It's bad.
Yeah. So Perrin asks Rand what he was trying to do. And he's like, you almost killed me too. And Rand was like, no, not me, the Forsaken. And then Perrin is like, oh shit, if the Forsaken did this to us, where's Matt?
Where is Matt?
And
is
so
he
I
dead?
like that they're sort of like, oh, we're all in this together if it was the Forsaken.
And they think about him? They don't just whatever.
Yeah. So Rand goes into super pity party mode and is like...
Hey,
what?
I put the exact same thing there. Pity party.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
That's what it is.
And he's like, oh, I bet you and Matt are wishing that I'd never been born.
Yeah, or you never seen me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Rand's the worst.
Yeah. And then we get mention of Loyal, and I go, oh, yeah, where's that guy?
Where is he? He's not here. I mean, it's the middle of the night, so
we haven't heard from him at all yet.
In all 3 of these chapters so far.
Nothing.
Gosh.
Okay. So then Rand is telling Perrin that next he has to do what everyone least expects him to do.
Yeah, so I have a question for you about this because this is a really weird conversation point for Rand because it kind of sounds like he has a plan.
Well, his plan is to not be hunted and be chased anymore.
And his plan is to do what everyone least expects.
Yeah.
And it's like, who? Everybody.
Everyone.
So
including myself.
Yeah. So just
I don't even think Rand knows what he's going to do.
But that's what I'm saying. It's does Rand have a plan? Or does he just have a beginnings of a plan?
No, he doesn't even have a plot.
Nice. I didn't even mean to set you up for that. But yeah, that happened. Okay. But is that a no? He doesn't?
I think that his plan is... he's going to do what no one expects him to do.
Oh, I hate that so much.
And it'll come to him.
And he'll know.
He'll know.
He'll know.
Oh, he'll know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This is the worst plan.
I know. So this is where Ruark comes into the room, and he's like, oh shit, it's true. The dumb Tyrians, how do I say it? Tyrians?
Yeah, Tyrants.
Yep, those guys have gotten word that something has happened in here, and rumors are spreading like crazy.
Because Torian, he said that Terran fool, so probably Torian went and started spreading rumors that something happened.
Right.
He's doing something.
Well, and how does he know?
How does he know?
Because the maidens outside the door
went running.
Well, no, okay. Oh, okay.
Perrin was like, go
because
get
I was
Moraine.
gonna say.
Yeah.
So here's what I thought.
Okay, yeah.
What I was about to say.
Sure.
So the maidens outside the door didn't hear anything going on in the room.
Yeah.
Right? Because the walls are thick and stone and whatever.
Yeah.
So they didn't know what was going on, but that guy was standing just outside with swords and his 2 guardsmen.
Yeah.
Almost like hovering and waiting.
He was.
So I think that he already knew that something was going to happen. Like, I think he's
Ooh,
part
okay.
of the plan.
Oh,
Like, I know that Moiraine here later says that it wasn't a Forsaken and it couldn't be. But, like, maybe it was.
I like that, too. No, that's not a bad idea.
And this guy was, like, part of it somehow.
Maybe he didn't know exactly what was going to happen, just that something was going to happen.
Well, he obviously knows Berylane.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah.
And maybe he, like, talked her into going into the room to, like, and he was, like, waiting for her.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So, like, maybe something.
Yeah, I dig it.
Those are other possibilities.
There's a couple holes missing in your theory, but we can fill in them later.
But you know.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going.
I do. I get it. He's being a shady guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Okay, so then we also get that dumb Berylane ran her mouth and
but just to
told Ruark everything.
Yeah.
And this is where I was wrong.
That she's going to not tell anyone?
Yeah, I said she wasn't going to tell anybody.
But he doesn't think that she's going to tell anybody else.
Yeah, well, he thinks he
got
knows
daughters.
women, but turns out no one knows women. Not even Tom Marilyn.
Yeah, so, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I think that she's going to tell more people than...
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, now I do.
Okay, even though Ruark says probably not.
Yeah, I don't know if Ruark actually knows.
You are all over the place right now, so...
No, I am not.
Well, she is then.
She is.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, enter Moiraine. Stage right.
It's great because it's just like boom, boom, boom. Everyone's coming in at different points.
Yeah, and she would also like to know what happened here.
Yeah, and she must have run to come so far so fast.
Yes, and plus Lan is with her, and I was wondering where that guy was.
Because we haven't seen... Lan?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
We didn't see him at the end of the book either, at the end of The Dragon Reborn.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't with Moiraine when that happened.
Nope, he wasn't.
Okay.
And he wasn't in that room.
Yeah.
So I was like,
where's Lan?
The whole explaining Moiraine chapter?
Yeah.
He wasn't there.
Okay.
So this is the first time we're seeing him since everything went down.
So he's not dead.
Not dead or like somewhere else.
Missing an arm. I don't know.
Who knows? So then we get a funny stare off between Ruark and Lan.
Again, I love their humor. It's so great. And I gotta
Lan's
say...
jokes. The best.
Maureen reminds me of you.
Oh, good. That's the first thing you've said.
Well, because it's like, two guys telling a bunch of jokes that are just nonsensical.
Yeah.
And her just like not having any of it.
Oh.
It just...
That's not a nice compliment.
Yeah. It's the brief withering look that I know that you give me sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could play Moiraine. You're right.
You could.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Indeed.
And I could play Lan.
Yeah.
No.
That's
oh my
the
God.
best joke you've ever told.
Thanks.
Okay. But yeah, Lan's jokes are funny. He tells... We have to say it.
Okay.
Read it.
I thought you were old enough to shave without somebody to guide your hand.
Because he's all sliced up.
Yeah, he's like bleeding to death. And we got a highlight.
And
again.
then Ruark's like,
So this
learn.
This is the thing though. Perrin thinks that the only thing keeping Rand from bleeding out is him like holding the bandage on Rand's side.
Yeah.
Rand is in such bad shape, and they're just fucking with him right now.
That's why I like them. They're so funny. Okay. So Moiraine looks around the room and goes to Rand and then takes that cloth from the Baalzamon wound.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good.
Congealy.
Gross.
Yeah.
So she tells him to reach for the source because that can help with the healing.
Yeah. And it's a little bit of like recall on like
about
recap
healing
stuff.
and stuff.
Can't heal yourself.
Right. Can't heal yourself. And if I have to heal you, then you're going to be...
on your butt for a couple of days.
Yeah.
This could mitigate some of that.
Right. But he can't reach it.
Yeah.
At all.
That's bad.
Not even... he can't even get the void.
So that's really bad.
Yeah. I think he's just in some kind of way. Like, he's in this, like...
near death stage?
Yeah, he's in this funny little headspace where he, like, kind of thinks everything is funny.
So is
like,
that...
he's like, thinks everything is a little bit... He's like, haha, Moiraine, I can't do it. Isn't that amusing?
He is laughing a lot more than usual.
Yeah.
So. Is that good or is that like
No,
insane-y?
It's bad. It's dying-y.
Dying-y, okay.
Okay. So she goes, very well then, this'll suck for you. And then she heals him and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
So Moraine says that his old wound doesn't respond to the healing still.
Still perplexed, but you did miss the point when Moraine tries to like take Kalendor away from Rand.
Oh yeah,
he does not let her.
No. You can't have that.
Nope.
Bitch. So Rand says that this is the wound that will kill him because he knows that his blood needs to be spilled on the rocks of Shale Ghul.
Yes.
And she's like, you read too much, idiot.
And again, this is exactly what Swan was saying. So if you recall, Swan was like, I wish he'd never heard of the prophecies of the dragon.
Well, I wrote here, like, self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right? Because it's like, does he actually need to sacrifice for man's salvation?
Well,
Does he need to...
It's the same with the Kalendor business.
Yeah.
He rushed across the world to Tyr because he heard that the Dragon Reborn
That's what I gotta
needs to go
do.
to Tyr. Like, this is that checklist I was telling you about.
Yeah, so like, what is it? Like, I don't know. That's the tough one. So.
Yeah. So then this is where Rand asks for some information because Moraine tells him that he knows nothing. And he's like, well, if I know nothing, then, like, please share.
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah, and Lan sort of sticks up for him here.
Solidarity.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's nice because Lan is like, well, he doesn't want to just go blindly running.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Something Lan would say.
Lan's getting, like, progressively more cheeky, or maybe we're just, like, seeing more of him, so he's, like, showing it more. But he's speaking out against Moraine a little bit more than we typically have seen.
Right. I think maybe because his relationship with these boys has evolved.
He definitely seems to be like there's some sort of connection with Lan, because even in Faldara...
and we get that they've been training in the last chapter. I think we missed talking about it, but we got that Lan and Rand are still practicing sword forms.
Like, every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
They're still practicing together.
And, like, that started to be built back in Faldara, way back in, like, book 2, where they were practicing, and Lan, like, taught Rand a bunch of, like, stuff to kind of stick it to the Aes Sedai a little bit, so...
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, something to note.
Mm-hmm. So, Moraine doesn't say anything, but then tells Lan to go get someone to bring Rand some wash water and prepare him a new room, and Rand's like, no, I'm just gonna sleep here. I'm not going to be chased around or driven out of my own room.
Yeah, no way.
Okay, put your foot down. Like,
this is where.
Your mattress is ruined. Your room is full of shattered glass.
Yeah.
And you're bleeding everywhere.
Yep. Not anymore.
But this is where...
Maureen healed him. He's fine now.
Yeah, your blood dried everywhere.
Yeah.
But no, this is where you'll sleep. Okay.
Absolutely, putting his foot down.
Okay, so Lan likes this new Rand.
He does. He does.
This is where he's like, Tyshar Manetherin, man.
And you know what's funny? I found a spelling mistake.
You did?
I did. So in Tyshar Manetherin, there is an extra space between Ty and Shar, and there should not be.
Oh, in my copy too.
Yeah, there you go. Fun fact.
Huh. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's little, but it's there, so you know.
Good one. Okay. So this is where Perrin tries to do the inch away thing.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be involved.
No, he's like, no thanks.
I regret coming here.
Yeah, and he also doesn't want Moraine to, like, find out that something happened to him, and then he has to, like...
I have a question for you.
Be part of this, yeah.
Let's say that Perrin didn't come and just kind of stuck it out with Fael.
Rand's dead.
What would happen? Rand was just sitting there, and it had been a couple minutes. He's not doing good.
No, he's dead. He dies. That's why Perrin had to go, because the pattern doesn't want Rand dead.
Oh my god, so Rand was going to do nothing?
Probably. It said at the end of the last chapter that Rand was going to call for Moraine.
Yeah, he just wanted to sit for a little bit. He just wanted to
sit for a minute. So it's not that he was going to sit and do nothing. It's just that he wanted, like, a moment before she came in to do all her like, Moraining. Which she clearly did.
It is a verb, yeah, that's true. Okay.
That's what she does. She comes in and Moraine's about. So... It's just he was too weak to carry out the plan.
It's so bad.
Of actually getting help.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Perrin did come and it's all okay.
Yeah,
so, okay.
It's obviously part of it, right? Like, Rand wasn't supposed to die here, so he doesn't.
There you go. Okay.
But, so anyways, Perrin's trying to get out of this, and Moraine yells at him to stay here.
Yeah.
And then Moraine turns to Rand and says, fine, tell me what happened here. And then she goes on her whole, I can try to help you. She thinks that this was another uncontrolled use of Sidene, like a cause an earthquake in the mountains type of situation.
Yeah, and it seems like these lectures have been ongoing.
Ugh, so annoying.
Yeah.
She's like the annoying mom.
Yeah, like I get it. I gotta learn how to channel Sidene.
Yeah. Leave me alone, Mom.
Gosh.
And so Rand tells her that it didn't happen like that. And then he tells the whole story, but excludes Barrelane.
Because what would she be here in the middle of the night for?
Oh my gosh, scandal.
A little bit.
Actually, very scandalous.
So let's talk about this whole chest thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't even... Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's just like we get nothing about it, but Rand glances at the chest behind him and gives a look like he doesn't want to be observed, and then somebody like pushes the glass off the chest, and then nothing else happens with it.
Yeah, and when you say somebody pushes the... Like, it's magical.
But it's like from Perrin's perspective,
Yeah.
It could be Moiraine, it could be Rand. Rand's kind of like being a little bit, you know...
See, I thought that it was Moiraine
Okay.
because Rand is looking super, like, wary.
And he said that he couldn't even embrace...
He said he couldn't. And so on my initial read, without,
Sure.
like, thinking deeply about it while I'm reading,
Yeah.
it seemed to me like Rand was looking super wary and didn't want to, like, give in to, like, sitting down and looking weaker or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And he glances at the chest like he wants to sit down.
Okay.
And then so Moiraine just goes like, shoo glass
And
with the power.
sit down.
And then Rand sits down.
Okay.
But now that you're pointing it out and I'm thinking more deeply about it.
Yeah.
If, like, in the words.
It's just
like
so weird.
Rand doesn't want to be looked at.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah.
And then he just goes, shoo. Like, is he better at the power than he's, like, letting on?
Is he like lying to Moiraine? Like,
Yeah.
what's actually going on here?
Yeah.
There's no way for us to know because we're in
Nothing.
Perrin's perspective here. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
So Rand says that it must have been the Forsaken, and turns out that Moiraine did tell him about Samuel. How do I say it?
Samael.
In Ilion.
Yeah.
Because we had talked
So
about
that
that
did
last
happen.
time.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, maybe it's him.
Yeah. But nope, not even.
No, because he can't reach Tyr from Ilion even if he had Kalendor.
Yeah, like that is just too far of a distance to do magical stuff.
Right.
Like just across the friggin' continent
Right.
here, so.
But here's the thing.
Sure.
Bilal was just a High Lord in Tyr, masquerading as a High Lord in Tyr, right?
Sure.
He was the new High Lord, and Tom was like, I never heard of that guy.
Yeah.
And obviously he had dark friends milling about in the stone,
Sure.
doing his Bilal Forsaken bidding.
Totally, I get it. Yeah. I don't know where you're going with this, though.
Well, it doesn't have to just be Samuel. Or I
it could
can't
be
say it, but
Samael, yeah.
But it could be
Another
Forsaken. Like
Another Forsaken. Oh
or
my
it
gosh.
could be, I don't know.
So many of them.
I don't know.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I mean, it could also be the explanation that Moiraine gives in a minute.
Yeah, that's
Like
probably,
she does give an explanation for all these events.
that's
Like I
probably
mean,
what it
It
is.
could be that too.
It's probably what it is.
Going off on a wild,
Okay, fine. Let's get back to it. So Moiraine doesn't think it was a Forsaken.
Yeah.
She says it's too simple and too complex.
But that's important because, like,
Yeah.
can the power make a, axe come to life and playing cards come to life?
I don't
and
know. It's really
your
fucking weird.
reflections come
like
out
this
of the
is like
mirrors.
the stuff that starts to happen in the books, and I go, okay.
But it's like, it's not powery stuff. It doesn't
No.
fall within the realm of the rules of the magic
Well,
system,
it
from what it
falls
seems
within
like.
the realms of like spirit.
Sure, yeah.
In my
Yeah.
opinion, I think that spirit could
Do stuff like
make
this?
inanimate objects come to life.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Moiraine disagrees with you.
Yeah,
apparently.
she
So,
does. Whatever.
yeah.
Okay, we're
Well,
moving.
what does she
we'll
know?
move on
Yeah.
because like it doesn't matter what my speculations are at this point. So Rand says no more riddles. Like,
Yeah.
he's sick of all this crap Moraine's saying, and she says it was something like a bubble escaping from the Dark One's prison where there are those cracks forming,
Yes.
and they rise up into the world and then burst and affect Taviran or something.
Yeah, so it kind of makes sense because if you have rotten stuff on the bottom of a pond, it'll like create little bubbles and they'll rise to the surface. And if the universe is like the pattern, and
Yeah.
the Taviran are the thicker threads, then
Yeah.
it makes sense that the bubbles would be attracted to the thicker threads. For now, until things get much worse, then they could go everywhere.
No.
So yeah, but this is
Whole
important.
armies of playing cards, and then we really have Alice in Wonderland.
That's what we're going to, huh?
No.
Yes.
Oh, no. That's the worst that could possibly happen. Okay, so Moraine and Perrin exchange a glance.
Yeah.
And
She knows that he knows that something
happened to him too, and we're not going to talk about it.
No, not now.
Not now.
Yeah.
And Rand asks if she knows if Matt is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now this whole exchange was interesting, and I had to read it a couple times because the fact that they're not mentioning what happened to Perrin and Rand is asking about Matt was confusing to me because I didn't at first get that Moraine knows something happened to Perrin.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that wasn't immediately obvious to me.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, but Rand is asking, where's Matt? Is he dead? But then we're not talking about what just happened to Perrin, so, like, what's happening?
Well, he's clearly not dead because he's here.
Well, yeah, but obviously
So.
something happened to him.
Yeah.
And if Moraine is so concerned about what just happened to Rand, why isn't she more concerned about what happened to Perrin? Unless it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because...
I mean, her number one is always
Rand.
Rand.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. Okay. So this is where Ruark is like, yeah, Matt's fine. I just saw him heading to the servants' quarters. But, like, don't worry, not to the stables. He's headed towards the docks, and there's no boats there, so he can't leave.
Not that way, anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not much else to say about Matt because we know what happens next.
Well, yeah,
so.
and then there was a second where I was like, what's he doing? Where's he going?
Is he taking off?
Is he actually taking off?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But now you know.
Yeah, now I know. Okay. So then Bane and Chiad come in with the washing water, and Moraine is like, what the fuck, where's the servant? And turns out the girl won't come in.
Makes sense.
And Moraine says that this is bad, and the Tyrians are becoming used to Rand.
Yeah, so again, this is the whole, like, how long till someone tries to assassinate you thing.
Yeah, probably not long.
Probably really soon. Probably, like, now, immediately, basically.
That's really what it
like,
seems
what's
like.
Torian doing in the hallway, guys?
Yeah, and then Rand says that he won't run. Like, basically, even if Moraine wants him to, he's going to make his own decision.
Yeah, you can advise, but that's all it's going to be.
But that's it. And
Yeah.
she's like, whatever, just choose your path soon and inform me this time. I can't help you if you don't tell me things. And he's like, oh yeah, your help? Okay.
Really important question. Are you still on team tell Moraine everything?
Yeah.
Should Rand tell Moraine his plans ahead of time so she can, like, advise him?
Yes.
Yeah, you're still 100%?
100%.
Cool, okay.
This is her, I'm going to say life's work. Her whole life as an Aes Sedai, the past 20 years, have been about the Dragon Reborn and having him be there for the last battle so that they can defeat the Dark One.
So, but we know that Moraine is that person because we know Moraine from Moraine's perspectives too. But Rand, like, in Rand's own mind, is that the best thing for Rand to do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would say, yeah.
How would Rand know that she's actually on his side?
Well, he doesn't, but he doesn't really have anyone for sure on his side, and that's sort of what his issue is.
That's the issue. That is the issue.
I think that she's proven herself, though, because at this point, if she wanted to actually use him for some evil plot, like, she would have done that already.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. I mean, we could go down a tangent of, like, how long do you wait as a bad guy to, like, unveil your bad guy plan?
Yeah, no, I think that she's, like, proven herself at this point to be actually wanting to help him.
Okay.
But
I agree. Like,
yeah,
I agree that, like, Moraine's a good guy. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
So, but just, it's hard to say from Rand's perspective what's a smart move for him.
Yeah. But then, here we have Rand look at Perrin like he's sending him
Secret signals.
a silent secret best friend message.
Yes.
You know those?
The look?
When
it's the look.
When you're, like, out in public with your best friend.
Yep.
And something happens, and you exchange a glance, and you both know exactly what you're thinking.
Yep. I know that.
Except, I hate when I do it with you. I hate when I mouth something to you.
I can't read lips.
And you just look at me and go, I can't read lips.
Don't mouth things. Just, like, give me the eye signal, but you don't try... Because then I'm too focused on what you're trying to say, and I don't know what you're saying because I can't read lips.
It's always so frustrating.
Yeah.
But it's always sort of like the...
My brain works way too slow for that. Like, it's not going to happen.
Oh, and you know what's really interesting with all this mask wearing this year?
I don't have to worry about it. It's great.
No. What I was going to say about myself is
Yeah.
I really rely heavily on reading lips.
Yeah.
So
you basically don't listen to anything I say anymore.
No. Well, it's really hard for me to hear what people are saying. And it's because I can't see their lips. And I've had to like relearn how to listen to people talk.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was really shocking for me.
Well, I have zero problem because I always I don't know what it is, but I never look at someone's mouth. I only look at their eyes. So that's why I have a hard time with reading lips, because I look at your eyes and then I realize you're trying to mouth something to me.
Because I only
then my eyes catch up with my brain. And it's like, oh man, I got to look at her mouth. And it's like, I don't know what this.
Because I'm actually really surprisingly good at reading lips.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was a skill I had until this year. So how about that?
It's great.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem like there's any mouth,
No,
lip
there's no mouth thing. But
it's just
there's
the secret
definitely
eyes.
The
best friend signal.
There's we'll talk about this in the car ride home. Look.
We will talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Huh?
He tries again. I know. But Perrin is dumb and doesn't get it, and Rand is sad about it. He sighs.
Does he get it? I think he gets it.
No. After the first one, though.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't get, and Rand sighs and hangs his head. Because Perrin just stares at him blankly, like he clearly didn't understand. And then Rand goes.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Then Rand goes, "Okay, go away. I want to sleep. Okay, we will talk tomorrow." And then looks at Perrin again.
So hopefully he gets it.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like a definite maybe.
Yeah. So they all go to leave, and then Perrin sort of hangs back, and it's like, this is your chance to talk a little bit if Rand wanted to say something to him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And then he goes, Perrin, we all have to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
Basically.
We got stuff.
We got stuff to do.
But also, don't forget, Moraine does a little sneaky with Ban and Chiad.
Yeah, oh right. She says something and then shields what she's saying.
Yeah.
From Perrin's super wolf hearing.
Yeah, or just everybody's hearing in general.
Yeah.
But it kind of sounds like there was some sort of something going on.
Yeah.
I mean, they go immediately to help him and clean him and stuff like that, but there's probably...
I don't know. I just sort of got that it was wash him up and help him and make sure he actually gets washed up.
And tell me if anything else like this happens, I
right,
guess.
Yeah. that's... I didn't think it was anything.
Any, devious? Okay.
No.
Okay.
So they leave and we hear Rand arguing with Chiad about washing himself, and then they close the door.
Yeah, but this is really important, this next part here.
So outside of Rand's room, Perrin asks Ruark why he doesn't call Rand the Dragon Reborn, and Ruark says that is a Wetlander prophecy.
Yes, really important distinction here.
So Ruark says that they still don't know for sure if Rand is the Dawn guy.
Yeah, he who comes with the dawn.
Because there are still things that he has to do to prove himself, and if he is the one, he will know and do them.
And I mean, this is a really, really, really important distinction, because this is kind of one of those things that it's is this a big enough loophole for Rand to not be he who comes with the dawn?
No, it's not. I think that this is just a really smart way to have a prophecy, is don't go freaking sharing the prophecy with the guy you think is the prophet, because then he's just going to go around self-fulfilling.
Okay.
That's literally what Logain tried to do.
Yeah.
With the whole going to Tyr with the people of the dragon.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, but if
it might have.
Maybe. We don't know.
It might have gotten pretty far.
Yeah.
It could have. Anyway.
He could have conquered Tyr far enough that he could, fake it a little bit further.
Maybe. So. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I like this whole don't share it.
Okay, because that's one way to take it is it a don't share it so he doesn't know, so he does the stuff without actually knowing?
Yes.
Or is it this is a loophole for two different people for someone else to actually be he who comes with the dawn?
I don't see it that way. I think of it Rand didn't know about the Falma prophecy, about the whole proclaiming yourself over the Watchers.
Yeah, and he did it anyways.
And it happened.
Okay.
So that's a sign that obviously Rand didn't purposely try to fight Baalzamon in the sky above the Watchers with his banner. Yeah. Right?
It's just kind of funny to me, because we in this series so far, we've gotten 3 distinct names of chosen ones. We've gotten the Dragon Reborn.
Coramor.
We've got the Coramor from the
Thank you.
Sea Folk. And we've got He Who Comes with the Dawn from the Aiel. So we've got like 3 different...
And they're all Rand.
Well, but we also have 3 different...
Taviran.
So it's like, is it a 1 per situation, or is Rand all of them? Like, what path are we actually being led down? Because RJ likes to mess with your head for no reason.
No, I'm not messed with.
Okay, not messed with. It's just Rand.
It's Rand.
Rand is Rand is Rand is Rand.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, especially because of the whole born to a maiden on the slopes of
Yeah, but
Dragonmouth.
that's Dragon. That's Dragon Reborn. That's not He Who Comes with the Dawn.
He Who Comes with the Dawn he will be an Aiel that was raised outside of the Waste.
Well,
That's Rand.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying, there's just
it's
3...
not
there's
Matt or Perrin.
different ways to talk
Matt
about it
and
here.
Perrin aren't Aiel who were raised outside of the Waste.
From what you know,
Okay.
maybe Abel Coffin isn't Matt's dad.
Okay. So, this is sort of where we get the Terran soldier is standing outside, staring past the maidens, smelling like fear, and has a look of hatred and contentment, and Perrin hopes that the Aiel don't leave, or Rand might be in trouble.
Yes, and this
and
is
I
all
think
a
that
big...
Rand is already in a heap of trouble.
He sounds like it, and this is really important for next chapter when we get into it, because it's all coming together.
Right, and so then Perrin thinks that he has to find Fael, and he has to get her to leave without him, because this is all too dangerous.
But it's like, why did we come to that conclusion? Like, where did you... Like, why?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
She's gotta get out of here.
Oh, man. She's not safe.
That's how he keeps her safe.
Send
Go
her
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Okay, so that's the end of this chapter. And then we get into chapter 4, called Strings.
You know what's really funny?
What?
Is that in book 1, chapter 4, was the Gleeman, and it was Tom, and it was a harp.
Ah,
Yeah.
there you go. Because, yeah, we get the heart picture here.
Nice little callback, because it's Tom again. Chapter 4, 4 books later.
All right.
4, there you go.
Was the Gleeman from the perspective of Tom? No.
No, it wasn't, but it was just like...
No.
The Gleeman was featured. He was like the main new guy being introduced. So
Sure.
And it was a heart picture. So
Okay,
there
well,
you
this
go.
is from Tom's point of view.
Yeah, and it seems like he's kind of getting up to no good. He's in a little bit of mischief here. And he's like rifling through some papers by candlelight and comparing a note
Yeah.
to one that he's just written and seemingly forged.
I just said, what is Tom up to?
He's doing something.
Something sneaky, I bet.
Yeah, so let's kind of dissect these names here because it's important to what's happening.
Sure, I didn't glaze over that at all.
I know, you totally you did all the connections.
Something about a husband.
Yeah, so he forges a note that appears to be written by the High Lord Carleon that says, "Be wary, your husband suspects."
Whoa.
No signature, no nothing, just, something.
Something sneaky.
Yeah, and he wants to arrange it for High Lord Tadosian to find it. So another High Lord to find it, somewhere where his wife, the Lady Altima, might have accidentally left it.
Okay, do I have to remember any of that?
No, but
Okay.
the important part, it seems like Tom's setting up like a fake affair scandal between Lady Altima
Or a real one?
or how?
Maybe.
Go
There's
on,
an actual
okay.
affair going on, and he wants to warn the
and
guy
he's just
about
like,
it.
okay.
But, like, in a meddly way.
So, like, is it actually happening, or is he, like, creating it?
See, I got that it was actually happening.
I love that.
And he's just,
Okay.
like, meddling.
I love
and
that.
I didn't know if
That's
Tom
even
was
better.
part of the affair.
Tom's, when you say part of the affair.
With the lady.
Tom's with the Lady Altima.
Maybe.
Okay. So, but that's the whole thing. So he
I
wants
actually had no idea. I
Yeah.
didn't actually read any of that.
But that's the big thing. It's like either it's real or it's not. But he's definitely planting a note for the husband to find it from the other husband to the wife that the wife left. It's all good. It's great.
Yeah, okay.
He's playing
He's meddling.
Game of Houses. That's what he does.
Yeah, he's meddling. Okay.
Definitely.
So I just think I should have suspected with Matt going to see Tom.
Yeah,
Like, they're buds now.
that makes sense.
Like, it didn't even cross my mind.
First person he's going to go to is
It's Tom.
Yeah,
They're best buds now.
he,
I
like,
thought he
left
was
him with
marching
the
off
lady.
to Rand, but nope.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's not happening. So it's pretty great because, like, as soon as Matt knocks, Tom's like scrambling to cover everything up what he's been working on because he doesn't want to be caught in the middle of like forging notes.
Yeah.
And for timeline, it seems like Matt is just literally coming from his whole playing guard incident.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's super shaken, and Tom knows something is up because Matt doesn't make fun of his room.
Yeah, it's just like a mess.
Well, no. It's a shabby room.
Oh, that too, yeah.
In like servants' quarters.
Yeah, and we kind of get that weird explanation where it's like he tells Matt that he's sleeping in the servants' quarters so it doesn't seem like he came close behind an Aes Sedai.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think Tom is so smart. He only wants to be seen as a stupid Glee man.
Yeah.
In the stone, and
people talk to Gleeman, and then he also, and 100% doesn't want people to know that he knows the Dragon Reborn.
Right.
That's like the bigger reason. It's like Aes Sedai is one thing.
And Ta'Veren and all of it.
Yeah, Dragon Reborn is like another one. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, they're totally buds because this is clearly like there have been lots of visits.
Yeah.
And Tom's just going with like this is a usual visit until Matt tells me otherwise.
They're my favorite dynamic duo.
It's good, and it's
Tom is definitely one of my favorite characters, and Matt, like for sure, is one of my favorite characters.
It's like 1, 2, 1, 2.
I love
it's
it.
Great.
It's actually really great.
Yeah.
This whole I love this pairing, and I hope that they don't split up. But that probably means that they're gonna split up.
Well, maybe, but it's like again, that's the whole crux of this entire chapter is like, is Matt gonna leave? What's going on? And by the end of it, it's kind of like maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't seem that way.
Yeah. So we have Matt showing up and explaining to Tom that he thinks Rand is going insane.
Yeah, and Tom's kind of got like no clue what he's talking about, but also like he knows what he's talking about.
He knows.
Yeah. Well, and it's the whole like Matt comes in asking like, did anything happen? Clearly not. Otherwise, Tom would know what he's talking about. But the whole playing cards thing come to life.
Right.
So yeah. But the entire conversation between Matt and Tom this chapter is just like Matt lying to himself about why he's not leaving, and then Tom realizing that he's stuck in the whole gambit too, so why he's not leaving either.
Yeah, it's definitely back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I want to leave, but I keep staying, but I'm leaving. No, but I'm leaving, and I'm not. I don't know. It's just like that's the whole chapter.
Let's talk about Tom then, because that's like the next big thing that's happening. So Tom's thinking, okay, Matt is saying he should leave, but he hasn't. Why am I not leaving? And that's a really big thing too.
Yeah, I think that both Tom and Matt here are so funny for wanting to leave so bad, but staying anyway.
But not. And Tom's whole deal is that if he leaves, then he leaves Rand on his own. And this is like the big indicator for this chapter, that Tom is doing a lot of work for Rand. He's doing stuff.
Like maybe breaking up marriages?
Possibly. Forging notes or something to help out
Okay,
Rand.
okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I connected it back to the whole Owen thing and the whole Rand reminding Tom of his nephew who got all mixed up with the Aes Sedai and Tom couldn't save him.
That's the whole debt from 15 years ago.
Is it?
Thing.
Okay, I was going to ask
that was Owen 15 years ago. That's the debt he's paying off. He wants to help Rand stay away from the clutches of Aes Sedai, but also he knows the High Lords are going to move in on Rand if he's not doing stuff to like prevent that.
Right. Okay.
We get a little tidbit there where he says like I said 2 sentences to Rand and he figured out why I was staying in the servants' quarters too, because I'm doing stuff to help him out.
Yeah. Do you want to know my favorite reason for Matt not leaving?
I do. There's a lot of good reasons, but I mean there's got to be a favorite.
Yeah. There's a girl in the kitchens who likes a little
slap and pickle.
That's what I... Yes.
Yeah, slap and pickle. There you go. Yeah.
That's so good. What an obscure reference.
Yeah, I know.
Like Beer Fest or something?
Yeah, that was Beer Fest.
Oh my god, little slap and pickle.
Little slap and pickle.
Okay. Turns out, no, she wants a little kiss and tickle.
Kiss and tickle.
So maybe he has been getting around a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. And this is what I'm saying. Is RJ going to explicitly tell you...
I wish he would.
Rand is banging the serving girls or whatever it is.
No, Matt. You said Rand.
Did I say Rand? Oh, well, we know
okay,
Rand.
Try it again. Okay, so...
Is RJ going to explicitly say that Matt is banging the serving girls?
Well, I want him to.
Or is he going to say they like a little laugh and tickle?
Kiss and tickle.
Kiss and tickle? I don't know. It's too good. But, like, what's the real truth?
I think it's flirty. I think it's a little make-out here.
Okay.
A little, like, in the halls
so
here.
Conservative.
A little butt pinch here. Like, I think it's, like, I don't know.
But not, like, okay.
So
here's the thing.
I don't think it is. I think that Matt wants it to be, but I just can't see it actually
So perhaps, and I'm just going to throw this out there, in the books, maybe it's not, but in the TV show, it's going to be.
Hundo.
They're going to cash in on that.
And he's going to be in the brothral. Like, it's going to be like a...
We have not yet seen any brothels in this book series.
No,
Let me
but
tell you one thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think... Here's my prediction.
Okay.
My quick one, because then we'll move on.
TV show prediction?
TV show prediction.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be as smutty.
Yeah.
As Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
If that's...
Less boobs. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
But, like, fortunately.
You know.
Less...
You don't need
like,
boobs to make the story. Boobs enhance the story.
Less, like, grubby.
Yeah. No, I get the feeling. Yeah.
I don't think that we need sex and boobs and brothels to be fantasy.
Yeah.
Or to make fantasy interesting.
That's fair.
Because that's basically what Game of Thrones did.
Yeah.
Is it tried to make fantasy sexy.
In, like, a... overwhelming kind of way.
In like, here's 18 boobs in one shot kind of
why
way.
not, you know?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, so Matt's messing around and he's like, there's girls here and there's gold to be won. But my point is...
There's always a reason.
There's girls in other places.
There are.
And there's gold to be won in other places also. Like,
This
isn't the only place with women and guys who like to gamble.
You know what my favorite reason Matt's staying here is?
Which one?
Do you think that Moraine's like keeping me here with the power?
Yeah.
And Tom just says, no.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that's something she can do, man. But that's the big thing. So
Yeah.
This is the key point of whole Matt's deal, is that every time he thinks about leaving, he gets a strange feeling, and then all of a sudden...
something momentous is going to happen, and he can't leave.
Can't leave. He finds a reason to stay, and when he thinks too hard about leaving, that's always when something comes in, and he has to stay.
Right.
So that's the whole Taviran-ness that Tom
That's
starts thinking
definitely
about.
what that is, yeah.
And that's the big thing. Is it like Matt Taviran-ness? Is it Perrin? Is it Rand? Tom clearly thinks it's Rand.
Trifold.
Trifecta
Of Taviran-ness.
Yep. There you go. Okay. So we figured it out. There you go.
It's
That's what it
everywhere.
is. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just got to mention, too, that I love the fact that Matt still isn't 100% on board, out loud at least, that Rand is definitely the Dragon Reborn.
Ugh, God, he's so annoying.
He's like, kind of, maybe, sort of. I
Nah,
guess
he
maybe
knows.
he could be, possibly, maybe.
That's
I don't
also
know.
like the thing where he says, I don't like helping people.
And then immediately
all
helps
he's
people?
doing is helping people.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
That's Matt. That's
Yeah,
Matt to a
it
T.
is,
So, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and then we get a little bit more like back and forth. Tom says, why don't you ask Moraine for help? And Matt says, no.
No, I said I help.
Yeah. Why not Nynaeve? She's a wisdom.
No, I said I help.
Well, and also like Nynaeve berates Matt for drinking and gambling, you know?
Yeah.
Terrible. And I get that. I can understand that at least.
Yeah, I thought they left with like a maybe I'll ask Nynaeve for some help.
It was a definite maybe, probably not.
Okay.
And then it very quickly becomes the holes in his memory thing again, and we get a little recap on that. Yeah. And then Matt says, I'm leaving. I'm going to go get my stuff.
Yeah.
Right now. Let's do it.
Let's go. And then Tom says, why don't we play a game of stones first?
Yeah, not till morning. We'll leave in the morning.
Sure, we will.
And then Matt's diverted, but it is interesting to note that Tom thinks, well, he's clearly like scooped up in this Taviran-ness, and I probably am too, and maybe that's why I'm going to like put another payment on that 15-year-old debt again, and again another recall to the whole Owen thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We have something about this 15-year-old debt.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if that was the...
That's just the Rand reminds Tom of Owen, his nephew.
Right, but then Tom starts telling this very interesting story.
Yeah.
About a debt to a Damane woman.
Well, a wager. Yeah.
And that's what he's like, oh, I have a wager with a Damane.
It's just a story.
You know, I know, but
yeah.
It sort of made me start thinking, oh, is the debt to this Damane woman? And then this story is very interesting, and then it just cuts off.
It does. And you know what? I gotta say, because it's the whole like, oh, a Damane woman with an odd-looking red bird claimed could tell the future. It's got a long yellow bill.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting story, and this whole chapter was kind of boring. So
it's a bit of a filler chapter.
I wanted to hear it, and then it was like ... and that's where the chapter ends.
I was a little bit frustrated just for the fact that I tried to find some sort of like fable or tale about like a mystical red bird, something.
Yeah.
Like magical properties foretelling the future. I couldn't find anything about a red bird with a long yellow bill. Couldn't find anything.
Toucan.
Not red.
Oh.
I know.
A
I
red
thought a toucan.
toucan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I got some stuff on cardinals because cardinals are red.
But those aren't long.
Not even at all. But yeah, it's there's nothing. So if anybody's got anything out there that they have interesting stories, let me know, because I'd love to know if that's like a nice little hidden gem from Margaret Jordan.
Right.
About like a something from the real world.
Yeah, or if this is just a Tom making stuff up to like
It could be that.
Because like obviously Matt is worked up about just almost dying by playing cards, potentially by his like childhood best friend.
Yeah.
And
fair reason to be worked up.
Yeah, and so I think Tom is just trying to calm him down and take his mind off it a little bit.
Yeah. It was a bit of a filler chapter just to let us know what Matt's doing.
Yeah. And now quickly before we wrap up, we have a question from one of our producer level patrons.
Awesome. Okay.
So our producer level patrons get to ask a question that we answer in a regular episode.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that being said, Vince Lewick wants to know, there's a 2-part question, so I'll allow it.
Okay.
It's season 4.
No, why not?
We can do whatever the hell we want. So, question is, we know that the one power is consisted of fire, water, earth, air, and spirit. If you could channel one, which one would you love to use?
Okay, you go first.
Which one could make me, like, travel somewhere really fast? Like, what, you know how in the Age of Legends they used to be able to, like, travel?
Sure. Do you assume
is that spirit, or is that air, or is that both?
Do you think that it takes only one? That's the hard thing. It's like, what does that really mean?
Because whenever I'm asked the question, what superpower could you have?
Sure.
Teleportation.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but
that's my number one superpower always.
Can I put a big asterisk beside, like, the superpower thing and, like, the magical power? So, what would be most helpful to me in real life or in a magical fantasy world?
Yeah.
Because in real life, the most helpful thing would be for me either teleportation or read minds.
Oh, I would not want to read minds.
Like by choosing.
Oh, by choice? Okay.
By choice. You could be like the best salesperson in the entire world and sell anything to anyone by being able to read minds.
Okay. That's a very salesy thing to say.
I mean, but that's my thought process on it.
Okay. I would still like to be able to travel.
Teleportation is awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go anywhere at any point.
Yeah, maybe though, like, if you can manipulate Earth.
Sure.
You could, like, build stuff.
I would prefer, and this is just me, air. I would pick air because then I could become the best professional sports athlete ever because I could bend it like Beckham and just like, and I grew up playing soccer, so just thinking.
And soccer players make so much money.
Oh, I mean, come on. Like, literally, I could do NBA, I could be like, best baseball player, best soccer player, because I could make the ball go wherever I want with some air, just blast it out of the park, blast it in the net, blast it in the hoop, just like all the sports. I don't even know sports phrasing, but I could do it.
Blast it.
Blast the ball wherever I want all the time and make a bunch of money playing sports.
Okay. With spirit.
Golf.
Could I, like, channel spirits?
No, that's not what spirit does. Different book, different something. That's not what that does.
With water, I could create whirlpools and, like, sink fairies.
You could do the dream world with spirit, from what we know, is like...
Dream world is scary, man. That's too scary.
But that would be cool, too. But I would take air because sports.
I think I'm leaning, like, in this world, I think maybe Earth. I think I'd like to be able to manipulate, like, elements and stuff.
I'd
be like Magneto, right?
I think so. I think you could get a pass on that.
Yeah, because I mean,
but it's like
Egwene could just like manipulate locks and stuff.
Do you become a supervillain or like breaking a bank vault? So you're like a
I don't know.
A bank robber.
It just seems cool.
That's why it's like the fire thing would be cool too. But what am I gonna do with fire?
Oh man, you could like campfires so fast.
I'd be the best park ranger ever.
Yeah. Super tangent. Yeah. There is a part to this question.
Oh my god, okay.
It's just for you.
Okay.
And just by the way, this is a taste of a question and answer episode if you've never listened to it, because it's just random tangents of people asking questions.
Okay.
Anyway, the question for you is, I know Brett has been reading some Brandon Sanderson, and my question to you is, do you plan on checking out his Stormlight archives?
So, interesting question. I had reread the Mistborn first trilogy for SpoilerCon.
Yeah.
And
in September.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I just finished the second trilogy of Mistborn, and now I'm heading into the rest of the Cosmere universe, basically. So yes, I am going to be heading into Stormlight Archive very soon, just after I finish a couple more books. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So probably by January.
And I'm not reading any books for another 5.5 years.
You don't have time for that.
No.
Yeah.
I definitely don't. So, with that being said, if anyone is interested in checking out our question and answer episodes, we post one monthly. But you can find those over at our Patreon for our Tier 2 level patrons.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool. And
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett with Vince Lewick, Derek Benton, Michelle O'Brien, Moltude, Benjamin, Passion Socks, and Mozyme, with music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like to support us making great content and you're interested in extra bonus content like bonus episodes, Q&As, outtakes, early released episodes, unedited video released episodes, and exclusive merchandise, please visit patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on social media, on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our fans, and that's the best way to get a hold of us if you want to chat. Also, you can join the conversation with other Wheel of Time fans with Brett and myself over at our Discord channel for spoiler-free and spoiler-full content. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to tell a friend about us because referrals really are the very best compliment. Thanks again for listening, and this really is part of the pattern now.